G'day, friends. This is Archangel. There is a new male controlling tactic on the block. Apparently, males need female interaction for their very health. Yeah, but no. To flush out the bowl here, we have to understand the interactions between the sexes. You see, it's like this. We have two sexes in the animal Homo sapien. These two sexes are suspicious of one another, yet they interact under duress. And the sexes interact for two main reasons: necessity and recreation. The first reason, necessity, means for mutual survival and practical assistance, such as division of labor. The second reason for the sexes' interaction is recreation, meaning chemical reward, which causes emotional excitation and physical pleasure. Because males get temporary chemical highs and brief emotional fulfillment from positive interaction with females, and females get chemical highs from seeing males try to court and impress them, and they receive emotional currency from feeling desirable, and her desirability is reflected in the actions of thirsty males fighting for her approval, while she sits back and sucks in male attention like a psychotic Hoover vacuum, and then decides who tickles her fancy like an employer thumbing through employment applications. Either way, there is one constant. When the sexes interact for recreation, they use the other as an object for personal pleasure and self-image bolstering, aka ego stroking. Romance and courtship or dating is purely interaction for recreation. Neither sex needs to be interacting romantically to satisfy survival. So individuals enjoying the mingling of male and female energies and enjoying the excitation and release of chemical intoxicants that their boy or girl toy releases within their head when they flirt and kiss and chase one another is recreation. Sexual relations strictly to produce offspring, or the dividing of daily chores such as child tending and vegetable harvesting versus village building and bear hunting, this is cooperation out of necessity. Romance, dancing, kissing, this is mingling for fun. This is recreational interaction. And yes, many people get so hooked and addicted to the recreation chemicals and highs that leisure and amusement turns into necessity for them, and they literally need that next fix for their survival, and thus the thirst or codependency sets in. But you see, we are already under duress to interact with each other in the first place. So when one association loses its benefit, we pop out of the trance and wonder what we were thinking, being involved with this person at all. That is, until the next need or want comes along, and we succumb to the trance of interaction with the opposite sex once again. We are like zombies popping in and out of trance as we move from association to association with the opposite sex, a sex that we might not interact with if we did not need one another for procreation or want one another for physical and emotional excitation. It's curious that this existence, whatever its machinations or origins, has to compel the interaction between the sexes with the carrot and the stick. This life has us in a headlock, saying you have to interact if you want to produce offspring. Then they tempt us with candy, promising pleasure and excitation from romanticizing male-female relations and chasing flirtation and sex as recreation. No matter how you look at it, male-female interaction is done under pressure, not free will, divorced of duress. Really, seriously, think about this. We have to be tricked or threatened into interacting with the opposite sex. What does that say about our mixing of matter and antimatter? That it is written in the stars' romance? Or disaster waiting to happen? Anyhow, take recreational interaction. Yeah, it's adrenaline and heart palpitations for a few weeks. But inevitably, the expiration date comes and goes. The chemicals sour or dry up, and then what you are left with is hostility and nagging. Thus, when any positive association turns into a negative liability, both sexes look for the next association, the next rush of recreation from a strange person who has that new car smell. That is, until their expiration date passes, the novelty is worn off and it's back to square one. Hostility and snarkiness from that female that just keeps coming around. When it comes to recreational interaction, It's not so much that we desire romance for the benefit of the other party, so much as we desire the effects the opposite party has on us. Both sexes desire the physical excitement and emotional validation, yet in a paradigm where males chase and females choose, hence females control recreational interaction, and thus females willingly auction off their attention towards males in exchange for protection and provision. Necessity and recreation. This is the interaction between the sexes since time immemorial. Both constitute the cycle of humanity, which starts with trade and barter, males providing protection and provision in exchange for attention and reproductive access from females. Next, we throw in the recreation of interaction, which then becomes legislated through religion or societal norm into traditional conservatism, meaning family and marriage. Then, when a society attains wealth and technology, females see their chance to ditch the old constrictive family constructs, and this is feminism. Then, eventually, feminism will precipitate collapse, as there is no longer need for interaction, especially recreational interaction, which has become too toxic. So men reject devaluation and abuse, after which societies collapse and everything starts at barter once again. It's cyclical. There is not, nor has there ever been, harmony between the sexes. There is interaction under duress, chasing chemical courtship highs, and emotional validation, as well as being driven by reproductive imperatives and mutual survival through cooperation and division of labor. It has always been either of these two interactions. Sorry, but that's the truth. Nowhere in there is romance written in stone. Again, consider this point. We, the human sexes, are made to interact under coercion. We have been tempted with orgasms and adrenaline, oxytocin and serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, heart palpitations. And this is the sweet part, tempting us with the carrot. Then we also have the stick, smacking our backsides, driving us, the constant nagging, the programming that won't leave us alone. It continually nags at us to reproduce, reproduce, reproduce. And when you're a male, there is the continual nagging of reproduce, protect, provide. Reproduce, protect, provide. Reproduce, protect, provide. And early indoctrination nails this coffin shut, and males indeed spend their lives looking to reproduce, then protect, and provide for females. Curious that nature and or creator has to manipulate us with candy into playing with each other at all. And yet, when the drug highs and emotional validation has worn off, and folks are thinking clearly, these sexes view the other with suspicion, even contempt, like they are a completely different species. Still, because of human reproductive roles, males are saddled with a unique set of parameters, whereby they are the creative forces that imagine, create, do, and build nearly everything, yet they are made to feel worth less, inferior to females. So when males find physical pleasure and excitement, as well as a temporary emotional salvation through female interaction, well, once they have discovered female validation, they court this addiction the rest of their lives. Thus, it is sad, yet predictable, how awakened males aware of gynocentrism and male devaluation, will decry the abuse, yet they will not willingly let go of their drug of choice, female attention, which is the causal factor to the abuse that they speak against. Guys want to believe in fairy tales and find unicorns. Fine, but the rest of the world has to deal in hard numbers and stark reality. Most females are like that, and will take from you if given the opportunity. And most people will defend females and sacrifice males when push comes to shove. And this is the crux of gynocentrism, centering our attention on the welfare of females. So burying your head in the sand will not affect male suffering or improve male worth. Hence males, even those aware of gynocentrism and male devaluation, even these disrespected, depreciated males, will not choose to rein in their desires and overcome this vicious chemical romance that males have with the female sex. They have allowed recreational interaction to morph into needy addiction, and they are too weak to self-regulate erroneous appetites. As such, nearly the entirety of the male population are too frail to monk, and they deride monks from a place of shame for their own weakness against appetite. You see, males that monk from females are not extreme radicals. They are only renouncing recreational interaction with females. They would still work with females for survival if we were invaded by aliens. Male empowerment monks only reject recreational female interaction. They see all the chemical highs and physical excitations for what they are: hollow, superficial, and fleetingly transient. Yet, because everyone is so invested in recreational sex interaction, people take it as a personal assault when you reject what they have based their very identity on, especially males. Not surprisingly, we have shaming tactics enacted to goad males back into subjugation to recreational female interaction, which is willingly accepting gynocentrism, since females control recreational interaction through the natural construct of males chase and females choose. So there are many triggering shaming tactics used by the once awakened, formerly enlightened male, who at one time saw clearly male devaluation, yet falters in the face of their female validation addiction. Males who relapse in the face of their inner emotional lack and return to the validation solicitation syndrome that merely lies in hibernation within them. You see, these males, returning to some form of gynocentric female interaction, they want to justify their relapse and feign strength and cover their cowardly tracks back to the plantation of male devaluation. And so many males will revert to insulting or trying to shame stalwart male empowerment warriors with the gay, jaded, misogynistic shaming tactics the rest of the blue and purple pill world hurls at males to keep them compliant and disposable. However, some individuals understand the need for advanced reasoning to justify their validation emancipation failure. So they come up with some clever ploys. One returning to the plantation justification that I have heard more than a couple newly purple males use is a modified male welfare angle. More than a few intelligent males have tried to claim female abstinence as unwise and unsustainable because humans need touch and physical interaction. Guys need sex. Men need the touch of a woman. Humans need to sexually interact with one another. La la la. No, adults do not need touch. They desire it as a crutch of reassurance and validation in a world of individual isolation. Touch is not a need. Indeed, babies and even juveniles may require touch and interaction as they develop from stages where they cannot take care of themselves. However, adults do not need touch for survival. They crave it for pleasure purposes, hence recreation. Moreover, what kind of touch are we talking about? I can get a hug or a handshake from a good male friend, and that is touch, right? I can get a hand on the shoulder from an acquaintance. I can pay for a massage. I can give or receive a kiss from a family member. This is males receiving touch, yes? No. There is an agenda here. The whipped males saying that males need female touch are specifically propagating sexual romantic interaction between the sexes, not simply the neutral plutonic touch of a buddy or family member, because plutonic touch is devoid of the drug highs, heart palpitations, and excitation of sexually charged interactions. People might say males and females can enjoy each other's company and be friends, and this is recreational association. Yeah, sure, maybe some can, but when males and females interact, the tension of opposing energies drags sexuality into the picture. Or females will pull the same shaming tactics and mother fragility cards that they do on everyone else. So true friendships are usually same-sex, such as girlfriends or male best buddies. Friendships work when sexuality is taken out of the equation. So when we discuss recreational male-female interactions, it is wholly sexual and romantic in some way. There is a very specific scheme in play here. And why, according to the gynocentrically entrained, do males need female touch? Why, their very health and emotional well-being depends on it. I mean, for the love of Anubis's doggy treats, we are trying to save male lives here. They absolutely require female romantic sexual recreational interaction. Males need females, stat. It is so transparent. This claim is simply addicts conjuring justifications to further solicit their addiction. It is so painfully obvious that we have female validation addicted men proffering a want as a need, as a requisite to survival. No, males do not need sexual touch, but vagina addicts do. Yet, more than a few males will buy into this propaganda and take this weak cheeseball fear-mongering excuse as reasoning to go back to female subjugation for necessity's sake, because species survival demands procreation with females. And now, males' very sanity, health, and survival depends on their recreational interaction with females. Males need emotional and physical validation from females. Males need female touch for health, sanity, etc. Holy guacamole! Now, recreation has turned into mortal requirement. Oh dear Lord! Males not messing with females is a dire matter of life and death. If you won't chase romance and female validation for yourself, do it for your loved ones. Do it for God and country. Please, for the love of humanity. Are you starting to see a theme here? Our gynocentric world predicates every aspect of male existence to be absolutely dependent upon females' grace. Females birthed you, then they suckled and raised you. Now they are smarter and superior to you, and they hold the keys to salvation itself through the validation they afford you. And furthermore, we have this state-of-the-art, cutting-edge discovery that females also hold the keys to male health and sanity through the recreational touch and attention that they grace upon males. Wow! Golly gee, Batman, females really are everything, aren't they? I bet the flying spaghetti monster did not see that one coming. We are so gynocentric, so male devaluing, we are so steeped with female exaltation that we earnestly pretend and actually believe that life, the world, and male salvation lies with the human female. Because females are already perfect in a state of grace, whereas males are vile and evil and in need of redemption from their disgusting existence. Males are led to believe that they are helplessly dependent on female interaction for their very existence, and now we have claims that male health and sanity depends on it, and thus monk or MGTOW is not only extreme radical hatred, but it is also unwise. That is why these purple cop-outs, heading back to the plantation because they are too weak to stave off their thirst, will cite studies conducted within a gynocentric system, studies supporting males needing female interaction, studies conducted within a gynocentric system, which means there is a gynocentric agenda to inflate female importance. So they will cite scientific research or psychological papers or pull numbers to back them up that males are healthier, happier, and more sane when they romantically service females. Yet again, there is agenda, because this research is conducted in a gynocentric environment with gynocentrically entrained people who have gynocentric beliefs. How, in any way, is this fair, neutral, and unbiased? It's not, because these researchers already surmise that females are better than sliced bread and males. So they look for results that back the female elevation that they live by. And they skew numbers and fearmonger in attempts to make males think that their lives or health or sanity depends on female interaction. No, this is merely crap fresh out of the backside of the cow. And the chumps who skew these studies or numbers or throw out exaggerated, even bogus interpretations think that they are clever and that their worship of the feminine is backed up by studies. And thus, under the guise of legitimate research, they have everyone believing that males somehow need female interaction to maintain health and mental equilibrium. Otherwise, we would go crazy and do harm to ourselves and others. They think their male devaluing cowardice is camouflaged in legitimate science. See, we require physical touch for our welfare, and that of the general public, since males would snap and go postal if they did not receive their validation from females. So, for the sake of public health, males need to chase females for romantic recreation. Do it for the good of all humans. The world is at stake here. You know what? You may desire recreational touch from the opposite sex, but you do not require it. males could live without the touch of another for the rest of their lives without incident or detriment. And how in the world could this be possible? Because males do not need female touch. Addicts do. Undeniably, humans may desire human interaction. The laughter of a group, the hug of a friend or family member, a hand on the shoulder. This is physical touch, and should suffice to save male lives in jeopardy from physical touch deprivation. Males can hug friends and masturbate to alleviate sexual pressure, right? How does that sound? Oh yes, humans can interact with a robust handshake, a genuine heart-to-heart talk, or a compassionate hand on the shoulder. Humans can survive and thrive with strict plutonic touch and interaction, and then they can masturbate in private to release tension. This is completely feasible and rational. So all of these studies and papers are bogus propagandized gynocentric bull. Humans, and especially males, do not need kisses or sex or holding hands with females or marriage or flattering lies whispered in ears during pillow talk. Only female validation addicts need this. But no, these purple pill pussies try and muddy all of this and claim that males need female touch, romantic interaction, and especially sexual affection. They try to use the human desire for communal interaction or female worshipping males going crazy in the absence of their drug to mean human males need romantic interaction with non-familial females for health, vitality, and sanity, which is everyone's concern. Because if a male goes crazy from monkeying and shoots up a shopping mall, well, we want to make sure that males chase female affection so this never happens. It's for the good of the community. And of course, the purple pill posers will congratulate themselves for continuing to chase their addiction by saying that they are doing it for the safety of themselves and others who might be collateral damage if a male monks too long and goes insane. Newsflash, the insanity and unhappiness males experience in the absence of females is called withdrawals. When the addict is separated from their addiction, they have withdrawals and experience crazy thoughts, searing, desperate need, and unhappiness. But this does not mean they need their addiction to survive or to maintain sanity. That suggestion is ridiculous. When they detox, they can live just fine without their vice. Moreover, male interaction with females continues insanity, and when males are free from female interaction, they have a sanity and lucidity they never knew while recreationally interacting with females. So female cessation actually increases sanity. Furthermore, there are plenty of humans that survive without touch, without human interaction. Strict survival does not require the touch of another similar creature. I don't care what all the gynocentric experts claim. Humans are much stronger and more resilient than that. Humans can carry on without physical affection. There are many genius males that have existed without recreational interaction, and today's world is benefited because they did. There are other groups of people or sects of persons, such as nuns or monks, that survive entire lifetimes without physical affection or recreational interaction with the opposite sex. And they are not out killing everyone or chewing off their fingers because they've gone loco. They are getting along just fine, living to ripe old ages without recreational gender interaction. Golly gee, that must be wrong. However, the addict will of course assert that a nun or monk's quality of life is hampered within such a monotonous paradigm. But if you ask these people if their life was miserable and wasted because they did not indulge in physical touch like the rest of this pathetically addicted world, they will say no. Actually, their lives were full and rich, spent in the service of others or personal advancement of self. Which is something that hedonists and validation codependents could not possibly understand, as they go around justifying their addiction with flimsy reports that human males need romantic touch and sexual release. The problem is that males have become accustomed to touch from females, starting with mom. Then they discover the chemical rush from a pretty female noticing them. Then the first girlfriend. Males get hooked on the ego-stroking validation and the physical excitation and sensations and drug highs from female interaction and physical pleasure, to the point that the thought of living without these adrenaline rushes and skipped heartbeats do cause a temporary decrease in life quality and an increase in stress and general dissatisfaction. And perhaps after enough time without these chemical vices, some males become eccentric, disconnected, or even temporarily insane or destructive and violent, which seems to support all the baloney cited in studies that claim that males need female interaction for welfare and sanity. Yeah, once again, it is called withdrawals. Hello? You have a population indoctrinated with female exaltation. Then you get them accustomed to chemical highs, and then try to take it away. Duh, of course they will use any and every excuse necessary to keep the fix coming. Males do not need female touch. Males do not need recreational interaction with females. Recreational interaction with females is a superfluous indulgence for the sake of ego and hedonistic pursuits. It's like getting someone acclimated and desirous of an unnecessary luxury, like ice cream, then telling people to give up ice cream because it's not necessary to your survival. And then the ice cream fans shout back, "No, we need ice cream for general happiness and mental stability. Otherwise, we might go homicidal on Main Street. We need ice cream. It is for the good of all humanity that we eat ice cream." Silly wabbits, you never needed ice cream in the first place. So we hook males on romance chemicals and sexual pleasure, then try awakening them within male spaces. And when they start going through the shakes of withdrawal and they thirst for their fix, this is where they try to cover their weakness by claiming males need female interaction. Whereas, my brothers, you never needed female interaction to start with. Nature drives you to procreation, and gynocentrism nails home female elevation, and both of these drive male subjugation to females. But males do not, nor have they ever, required female touch for survival or health. However, given the structure of our female elevating species, male-female recreational interaction was not only desirable to further gynocentric agendas, it was inevitable. And males are made to feel like they are missing out on something when they see everyone around them dating and texting and kissing and dancing and laughing and having fun. People, especially teens with raging hormones, do not like to be left out. They want to enjoy ice cream like everybody else. Still, males do not need female touch. You can live a very long, productive life without it. Now, the next claim is some happiness quotient that males achieve with female interaction. So this is another falsehood, that males need female interaction to make some grade on some happiness scale. No, they don't. Male unhappiness in the wake of female absence is very easily explained. Once again, it is called withdrawals. Of course the addict is going to say they are much happier when they have their vice. Yet, in reality, many males are unhappy from interaction with females. Look at the male wreckage of female manipulation. From males broken-hearted, to males mocked and demeaned, to males tortured in divorce and child custody cases, all the way to males' general state of usury and discardation by females and a gynocentric populace. No, males do not need females for touch or happiness. You sad little pandering addicted males that have a taste for female attention and validation, you preach males needing female touch because you can't see life without your addiction. Fine, go back to the Matrix already. Quit spreading your purple pill bull in male spaces. So many former stalwart male warriors have turned tail and run back to the servitude, using the males need female interaction for happiness, health, and sanity argument, thinking that this will hide their weakness and thirst beneath the almighty veil of science. And they come here preaching these falsities because they want their audience to send them back to the plantation with congratulations and blessings. Yeah, great. Go back. But why do you try to persuade males to go with you? Why do you try to proselytize other males into thinking that they need female interaction to have a robust, healthy life? No, you are a weak addict, and you want everyone to wish you well and tuck you into bed with a lullaby and a salute that you are doing the right thing. And getting others to join you simply bolsters your ego as being right, even heroic. So yes, for pack functioning, and in the event of, Armageddon, males may need to interact with females out of necessity, cooperation for mutual survival. But neither sex has ever needed recreational interaction with the other. My friends, stand with me. Live free.